And then there were 10. These are the most important nominations yet. Who will be taken down tonight? And how will Drew handle the mother of all superpowers? Welcome to Nominations Night Live.
I've always thought that I wasn't here for the money, but I'm kind of now thinking maybe I should try and win it.
I'll tell you what, it's a lot of bloody money.
I wouldn't be here if I wasn't here to win.
I don't think anyone in this house trusts anyone fully. No.
His trust in here is definitely shrinking day by day.
Being in such close space, any small change, people notice it.
He'd just have to second guess everything they'd say because he's openly said he loves the manipulative side of the game.
It's done.
I'm so sorry, Ben.
It's time to nominate.
Welcome to Dreamworld on the Gold Coast. Here's your host, Sonia Kruger.
Hello, everyone. We have a top 10. The housemates have outlasted 6 others. All they need to do is outlast another 9 and they'll be $250,000 richer. What could be simpler? Now, the superpower Drew had bestowed on him last night has the potential to deliver him a whopping 18 points, more than 3 times the power of any other housemate. Big Brother is going to explain that soon, but first to the house where Heidi left last night and recorded a farewell message for the people she left behind. In it, she gave some parting advice, and it didn't go down too well.
Me? Say it.
It's time to go, Heidi.
Heidi becomes evictee number 6.
Oh my God.
I love your head.
Another shock for the group, who are into their 7th week of isolation. And taking the loss of a popular housemate badly.
How does Caleb go, then Heidi?
Come on, baby.
I'll take that from her. Can't stand. I can't stand. Totally. Oh. Oh, like, why me? We'll be happy here. Yeah, she's so selfish. Oh, it's ridiculous.
Equal, if not more shot. Like it's in exactly the same.
Oh, God. That was never going to be okay. Anything that happened tonight was not going to be okay. I was so glad you're still here. So glad you're still here.
Oh, thanks. That was the first time I've seen Tim upset at an eviction.
Yeah, an eviction, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like both with Caleb and with Heidi, I've felt like shouting last minute, no, take me, take me. I feel there's this horrible feeling like everybody else expected me to go and they'd rather me go than the person that actually left. It's a horrible thing that I've felt for the past 2 weeks. So I'm shocked. I'm very shocked.
Tim.
Yeah?
Oh, cool. Everyone's just like, where's Tim?
Listening.
Do you want me to leave you alone?
No, I'm fine.
Okay, cool, because I was like, I actually don't even want to be in that kitchen.
Yeah, no, I didn't want to either.
But it's just...
like, no, sit in here if you want.
The people are just... I can't even look at Michaela. I can't even look at the sisters and I can't look at Jade.
I know. I can't believe that she's gone. Because it's so unfair.
I know.
Oh. She was just like, no, I'm just being silly. I was
No, you're going to make me cry as well.
Oh, she was just like the one person here that kind of made me feel like home.
Yeah.
Tully's tearful reaction to Heidi's departure has annoyed Matthew and Ed.
Tully's just all about herself. She was banging the door.
Yeah, I know.
I was like, oh, you're kidding me.
Just don't overreact.
How dramatic.
I know. It's embarrassing, eh?
Oh.
Act like that.
Completely. It's stealing the moment, like, once again.
Yeah.
Because it's just so over the top.
Heidi's gone, but she has a parting message for her former housemates.
Here we go.
If you're watching this, I have been evicted as the sixth housemate of the Big Brother house, and you know why. You are to blame. Tim, you and I have had the most random friendship. You are genuinely the best when you are how you've been this week. Like, you're sweet, you're funny. Yeah, you might not be the craziest guy out there, but you've always got that about you. That is your individuality, and I think you need to see that. And I just think a lot of people would say that you're confident, but sometimes I don't think you are. Like, I think you really do question yourself, so that's why you've got to be weird and wacky. There seems to be a little group forming with the girl club. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing. You've got Michaela, the Sugar Sisters, and Jade. I just think, girls, you need to do stuff in here. Like, stop laying by the pool and sleeping. It's not fun. Michaela, I love you. You've got probably one of the worst habits in here. I need to discuss it with you now. I think for you, love, you got to stop barking at people. I've talked to you about being a little chihuahua in the first place, and then I think you grew to a bit of a bulldog because there was nastiness in what you were saying. But I think if you actually sat back and didn't bark out what you wanted to say straight away and listened to what was happening and then thought about it, that maybe you don't necessarily have to say anything at all. There's a few people that just didn't really make an effort, and I think, Benny, love your face, mate. You're a brilliant character of the place, but you never, ever asked me a question. Maybe just show a little bit more interest in other people in their lives. Maybe you don't care. You know, when someone's sitting there and you're having a conversation, it just seems to always be about you. So, yeah, if you can take that away with you, good luck. Everyone, that's it from me. Make the most of it. I can't wait to watch you, and I can't wait to see you at the end. And good luck, my lovers. I love you.
I never realised I talked all about myself. I know all your parents' names.
What are my parents' names? My parents' name.
Kay and Phil.
Good boy.
What about mine?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What about mine, Ben? You don't know mine. You don't know my parents' names.
I'm pretty good. Joanne, Peter and Wendy, Phil.
Because, you know, I don't think what she said. Like, I honestly don't. When someone says something in those videos that they haven't really addressed while they were in the house,
Yeah.
it's kind of a cheap shot.
I think it is.
I think it says more about that person than it does about the person that they're saying it about.
Yeah.
And
it's just because, you know, Ma always brought me up to be a good listener.
yeah, and you are a really good listener.
No, but it's just that when she said that maybe I'm not interested, like, I've always prided myself on taking an interest in people, and I felt like I disappointed my mum.
Oh, Ben, that was silly. And you know, like, Ben, that was silly. And you know, like, whenever we're in the group, and then, like, we go, Ben, what do you think about this? You're always straight onto it. You're abreast of the whole conversation. It's not that you're off in dilly-dally land or whatever. You're not thinking about yourself. And then you know what the sad thing is? Misunderstood to her. That's what I say. If you know that something's not true, don't ever think, well, maybe they know me better than I know myself. You just say, it's a shame that I was misunderstood to that person.
I was just always a bit scared of her because I used to hear her talking about me.
Yeah.
But she didn't know that I heard.
Yeah.
And I didn't say anything because I was scared.
Well, Ben, you know, like, I've that's why I lost trust in Heidi, and that's what tore us apart.
She said mean things
Yeah,
about me.
yeah, Ben, don't worry about it, Ben, because you know you've got friends in this game. Like, they're not.
I was always
and
really
they're
polite
genuine.
to her, but I just was scared.
Come over and sit
I wanna
down.
watch my
Keep going on with your stuff. Like, don't stress out or work yourself up about it, because at the end of the day, you're here, she's not.
Coming up, let the nominations begin.
Hell yes, game on. Bring it on. It's on like Donkey Kong.
This is Nominations Night Live. Now, after 44 days with only themselves to focus on, the housemates think they've got each other figured out, but every nominations night has brought surprises and seen friends turn on each other. So who will be betrayed tonight? To the house now, where they're about to find out who got the superpower and where two rival camps have been established and are now talking war. So who would you like to give the superpower to?
Oh, I'd say thank you, Heidi, but I'm not so sure. Yeah.
Babe, just think wisely. You do want it, Drew.
Drew has the superpower, but Michaela thinks the real power is with the so-called misfits.
Me, the girls who are count as one, Ben, Tim, and you.
Members of the so-called cool group
Ed.
have seen their friends evicted, which now leaves them in the minority.
They're starting to get scared because they're finding out that their cool kid status in here doesn't mean anything in the outside world. And I think that's been proven over and over again. So now they're going to keep emphasising the fact that there are no groups, because the fact is that the people they've excluded now outnumber the people who they banded with at the start.
Drew was the only housemate left off Michaela's list. Now he's reporting the conversation to Tahan.
They want blood.
What do they say? What do they say? This is so hilarious.
We got to band together.
Is that what I can't wait to get into that diary room and tell Big Brother what I really think.
That's what I just said to Matt. It seems this week there's going to be a lot of people who are very passionate about their nomination.
I think so. Look at the pattern. The cool kids are falling. I was like,
oh no.
what? They're under.
They need to stop talking. They need to...
Because they're in this mindset now, especially after Heidi, that there's just not the two groups, and but there's the cool kids, and then they're the misfits.
Wait till they get up. Wait till they get up. Wait, exactly what I'm saying. Wait till they get up. Wait till they get up.
Exactly. We just... Oh look, I can't. You can't say it, but...
Wait till they get up.
People made a mistake last week with their nominations.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
Regrets.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. The three girls that think that they're amazing, the Sugar Sisters, Jade and Michaela, they annoy me, they do my head in Big Brother, they do nothing all day, they sit around, and not only that, I am so determined because I think I'm not being up myself, I'm not being cocky, but I can definitely beat those girls. I have so many things over them. I have a better personality, I'm just a better person, I'm a bigger person, and I'm just gonna beat them like I did in the Miss Big Brother comp. I'm actually gonna beat them. I'm gonna take them out. I cannot stand them. I just heard from Drew was telling me that they all think that all the cool kids are going and that they're the misfits. Excuse me, you haven't been up for 2 weeks. They haven't been up for 2 weeks, Big Brother, because no one sees them as a threat. And they're doing my head in. Like, actually, I'm about to explode. Actually about to explode, Big Brother.
The boys don't know what to do.
As in...
Because Tully's got Drew, all they've got is Tahan. So you watch the three of them team up as a little trio. And
I don't like this.
I ain't joining any group.
I don't understand it. I don't like it.
Is it game on this week?
Hells yes, game on. Bring it on. It's on like Donkey Kong. I am going to take those girls down and they can come for me. That's fine. But I know that, like, I saw this from the... Can I just let this be known? I said it from like the first week. I did not like the girls. And then everyone liked them. Everyone said they're sweet and they're nice, which is fine. That's cool. Everyone's got their own opinion. But then everyone saw what I saw. Fake, annoying people. And Lucy's voice is so irritating, it does my head in. And the thing is, I can't even get to know Katie because Lucy does all the talking for her. So that's just my little thing, and it shouldn't annoy me, but it does. And I've had it up to here. Actually, no, here with those girls. Literally, up to here. And I want them gone.
Now I've got open, like, slather.
It's like duck season's just open.
It's actually like open season. Like, the one person that I was accountable to was Heidi. She was the only one that was able to feed everyone the negative stuff.
As clued in as Ed is, a lot of his strategy was chats bounced off Heidi.
Yes. Oh yeah.
So they'd nut it out and they'd brainstorm.
Yeah.
To try and pick your next move or whatever.
Yeah.
But he's definitely lost his think tank.
Definitely.
Interesting to see. I mean, Matt's no replacement, let's be honest.
And neither is Tahan.
Yeah, neither is Tahan. Because she just shoots from the hip, she doesn't think.
Their new queen is about to get killed. Like, or is about to enter into a giant battle.
Oh, bloodbath.
I think they're all feeling very unsettled.
They want their revenge tomorrow. Both sides.
You're not suddenly going to become friends with Tahan, are you?
No. And I said that to the girls. I said, you know that I don't trust her. She'd turn on me in an instant. Swear. You know that, like, you guys are the ones that I trust in this game. I think some people are going to detonate their own bombs this week, and Tahan and Michaela.
Wouldn't that be funny? Like, I love Michaela and I don't want her to go home, but if they went home together.
Oh my God.
Now, remember, the housemates think there is a double eviction coming, but it's part of Big Brother's deception. What we know, and the housemates don't, is that this week there will be one real and one fake eviction. The fake evictee will be removed from the house to an undisclosed location and given a secret mission by Big Brother. So with a double eviction on the line, how will Drew wield the most influential superpower ever? And who will be facing eviction when he does? A devastating round of nominations starts next.
If you could have one superpower, what would it be? I am Superman!
Ultra intelligence would be amazing.
I'd like to read people's minds.
Teleportation.
My superpower would be to make things happen at will.
I would like the power to rewind time.
Who do you want to give that nomination superpower to?
Heidi.
Matthew.
It's going to have to be Drew. Welcome back to Big Brother. We are live. Now, this week, the housemates were separated into boy and girl bands and made to sleep in separate rooms. But what started out as a simple segregation of the sexes turned into total disunity.
In the last week, the housemates danced to a different beat, with a new divide rocking the house.
This is war.
As the Big Brother Battle of the Bands task turned into a battle of the sexes.
Can I just say that the girls are going to stand like cats stuck up a tree?
It's about time we start sticking together. It's been boys' club for far too long.
I'm loving just the guy time. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
But like all pop bands, it didn't take long for the infighting to begin.
There was things about Lucy, I'm like, nah, we're never going to work. I'm never going to be friends with someone like you because I just can't stand you.
It's the passive-aggressive comments between Lucy and Han. I'm over it.
When Big Brother says describe Drew, I'm like, he's a scoundrel, he's a love rat. I'm a nice guy, I would never do that.
But with new friendships forged,
Look how close we are now.
I want to have a hug.
the big question remains, will the sexes band together? Or will they change their tune when it comes time to nominate?
Very good question. Have the clashes of last week been enough to provoke retribution in the chamber? Let's find out. It's nomination time.
And acknowledging it.
Not even getting her a card.
This is Big Brother. Housemates, it's time to nominate. Look around the room.
Oh.
The 9 housemates you see are all that stand between you and $250,000.
Oh my gosh.
As you know, this week is a double eviction.
Oh, God.
You are about to make the most important nomination in your Big Brother experience thus far.
Stop it.
Last night, Heidi was evicted, but she had one final chance to influence the game. Drew to the diary room.
Good luck, babe. Love you.
All other housemates to the nominations room. Drew.
Big Brother.
Last night, Heidi decided to hand you the nomination superpower.
Yes.
Big Brother imagines you'd like to know what your superpower might be.
I am apprehensive but excited.
Drew, you are the predictor.
Okay.
If used correctly, the predictor superpower could see you with a game-changing 18 points to nominate with. However, if used incorrectly, you could have 0 points to nominate with.
Okay.
Drew, as the predictor, you will watch every single housemate nominate on the screen in front of you.
Oh.
You will not hear a thing.
Alright.
Before each housemate nominates, Big Brother will ask you who you think the 2 people they will nominate will be.
Alright.
Big Brother will keep a tally, and for every correct name you give, you will receive 1 point to nominate with. 9 fellow housemates nominating 2 people each means a possible 18 points up for grabs.
Last time I checked.
At the end of nominations, Big Brother will reveal your score, and you will nominate with those points, and those points only.
Alright.
There is no limit to how many people you nominate, or how you distribute the points you earn.
Alright.
For example, if you score 10 points, you could give all 10 points to one housemate, or 2 points to 5 different housemates. The choice will be completely yours.
I'm afraid of this.
Remain in the diary room and Big Brother will get back to you.
Okay, thank you, Big Brother.
Tahan to the chamber. Drew, the first housemate to nominate is Tahan.
Okay.
Who do you think Tahan will nominate, and why?
I think she'll nominate Katie and Lucy. There's obvious tension between the 2 of them, or the 3 of them, technically. And also to Ben, because they don't really connect as well as she does with some other people, and I think she thinks he doesn't really make much of an effort around the house.
Your predictions are noted.
Thank you, Big Brother.
Tahan.
Yes, Big Brother.
It's time to nominate.
Yay, I'm so excited. Okay, so first up for 2 points, I want to nominate Jade.
And why might that be?
Because personality clash. I don't like the girl. She's been talking about me behind my back. It was basically when I wanted to do the whole Miss Big Brother pageant. She was like saying I was just organising it for myself, which isn't the case. But I did confront them about it because they were saying they didn't want to do it, and then they finally said they did. But yeah, just basically, and I see her as a threat to me, so I would like to nominate her.
Tahan,
Yes, Big Brother.
have you ever heard of the phrase hearsay? Your nomination would never hold up in court.
Yes, I have, Big Brother. Chinese whispers, I know. But I honestly think she's a threat as well, so that's why I'd like to nominate 2 points for her.
Well, Tahan, so long as you honestly think that, your nomination is accepted.
Thank you, Big Brother. So that leaves my 3 points for, I think you already know the answer, Big Brother, Teddy and Lucy.
Big Brother is stunned. Tahan, would you care to elaborate?
Okay, because basically I really don't like them, that's no secret. They leave hair everywhere, they leave their glasses everywhere, they don't take initiative to do anything, they don't cook anyone dinner.
How would you feel if they were to be evicted after you?
Obviously I'd be a little bit disappointed, but I honestly think I can beat them. And I think that, you know, I'd love to see them up there this week.
Accepted.
Thank you, Big Brother.
Ding! 1 point. Now, predicting that Tahan would nominate the Sugar Sisters was a no-brainer, really. But the big question is, can Drew see through the lovey-dovey lip service and predict how the other housemates will nominate? We're going to find out next.
I think he's the most wonderful human being I've ever met.
I think she's good value. I really love Ed. I love the guy.
I like him for his individualism.
I love him and he's like one of my closest friends in the house, but just lately he's been really negative.
It's just that I think he will win and I need him gone.
But she does have a tendency to be very bossy. He doesn't ever have an opinion.
But he comes across as rude.
I love him so much.
You love him so much.
Yeah.
Your nomination is accepted.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Tahan's beauty pageant turned ugly this week.
You don't have to do it.
We get that from you, that's fine.
But if you don't want to do it, then don't do it.
We don't have to do her stupid beauty pageant.
Do you want to do it? Do you want to do it? Because you don't have to do it if you don't want to. Do you want to do it? Do you actually want to do it?
If all of you don't want to do it, then I'm not going to do it either.
I think World War III might be brewing in here.
It's peer pressure.
Tahan's good at parading herself.
I made sure Tahan came first, so the other girls get really cranky.
It was stupid and annoying, and I preferred not to do it.
And even though Tahan took home the crown, will she be a winner when it comes to nominations?
Welcome back to Nominations Night Live, where Drew has the predictor superpower. It gives him 1 nomination point every time he correctly predicts who a housemate will nominate. He can see the other housemates nominate, but he can't hear them. After picking one of Tahan's nominations, he can still potentially now win another 16 nomination points. So let's see how well he knows his ex-fake wife, Jade.
Jade, to the chamber. Drew, who do you think Jade will nominate and why?
I think she'll nominate Tahan. There's conflict there that's boiling under the surface. I think she'll also nominate Tully. The friendship between me and Tully might come into play there as well. Yeah, I think they smile through clenched teeth a bit at each other lately.
Thank you, Drew.
No worries.
Big Brother will get back to you shortly.
Alrighty.
Okay, for 4 points, I'm going to nominate Tahan. She is self-centered, a gossip. She never has a nice word to say about anyone. All her stories about her supposed friends are about how they're ugly, fat moles. She picks on my friends. She always says nasty little comments and then covers it with, oh, just jokes, when it's obvious that she's not joking and it's not funny, it's just rude and it's just mean.
Has Tahan been mean to you, Jade?
She just says these little comments that are just, you know, they're just picky, and they're just those little, I don't know, the little eye rolls, like those little things that you notice that's just bitchiness. It's just not nice.
Accepted.
Thank you, big brother.
Jade, you have 1 point remaining.
Yes. For 1 point, I'd like to nominate Ben. I'm using this point as strategy. I think everyone's sort of forgotten about Ben. He's a very big player in this game and he's been sitting under the radar. He's not really getting involved in anything. So for 1 point for flying under the radar, I'm going to give it to Ben.
Accepted.
Thank you, big brother.
Drew, who do you think Ben will nominate and why?
I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to say Tim, just because Tim winds him up a bit, and Michaela. Maybe just for passing comments that she can make sometimes, but that is very thin. I don't think that's going to stand up. But we'll see.
I'm going to nominate Ed for 3 points. I've had some really lovely conversations with him in the house thus far. However, lately I feel as though the conversations that we're having are being orchestrated from his end to further enhance his Prince Charming persona and to misrepresent the person that he's talking to, namely me. The conversations always tend to happen in front of a large group of people as well. The example that I'll give is most recently we were talking about when we both leave the house, would I choose a job with a good salary or would I choose love? He then sort of said quite loudly in front of everybody that Ben would choose money over love. And of course all the girls were like, oh, Ed, like that. And to me they're like, I can't believe you do that, Ben. And I just felt as though, I don't know, yeah, it felt like it was a leading conversation, to be really honest. That doesn't make me happy to say that, but yeah.
Accepted. Ben, you have 2 points remaining.
Yeah, for the 2 points, I'm going to say Tahan. Oh God. Recently, she was overheard saying that the only reason that Tim enjoys talking to me is that I'm easily manipulated as I don't have a brain. I'm sure there have been worse things that have been said about me behind my back over the last 30 years, but I just found that comment to be just nasty. And I've tried to move beyond it and just have a conversation with her, and I'm doing my best, but that did hurt my feelings, I have to say.
Accepted.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ben.
Thanks, big brother.
All right, time to check out the tally board and see where people are. Right up the top, Tahan on 6 points, then Ed and Katie and Lucy on 3 points each, Jade and then Ben. But so far, nothing for Drew or Tully, even no points either. Now, Drew has got the girls half figured out, but Ben proved to be totally unreadable. It's interesting, isn't it? Because Drew has actually spent almost 2 months in isolation with Ben, and he still has no idea how he thinks. Will he be luckier when he predicts Michaela and Ed's nominations? They're up next.
Like me, I don't care, 'cause I'm the baddest bitch up in here.
Finding myself getting incredibly frustrated with Tahan. Like, Tahan, you're annoying me. Shut up. I want her to go home a week that I'm up for eviction.
So you can say I beat you.
Yeah.
Would you really say that?
Yeah. I just can't imagine anyone being that up themselves. She's always checking herself out like that.
Michaela, you don't need to hold it back. Tell Big Brother how you really feel.
Stop it.
Oh, sorry. Just checking myself out. This is Nominations Night Live. Drew is playing Nostradamus tonight. His predictor superpower allows him to guess each housemate's nominations and win 1 nomination point each time he's correct. With so many points, he could potentially create any nominee lineup he wanted. Now remember, he can see each housemate nominate, but he can't hear them. So let's see if he can read the minds of Michaela and Ed.
Michaela, to the chamber.
Shut up.
Drew, who do you think Michaela will nominate?
Tahan and Matt. Tahan and her over the last few days have fallen out with each other pretty badly, and Matt and her have never really gotten along, but I think she sees Matt as quite a strong threat.
Thank you, Drew. Big Brother will get back to you shortly.
Alrighty.
Michaela,
Hi, Big Brother.
that's a very interesting choice of outfit.
What? It's just a top I brought in.
So the feline pattern has nothing to do with anything.
Maybe a little bit.
Interesting. Michaela,
Hi, Big Brother.
you have 5 points with which to nominate.
Yeah.
Who do you nominate first? For how many points and why?
Okay. For 3 points, I'd like to nominate Ben. It's a bit of a surprise and it's taken me a while to come to my decision. I still think that his contribution to the house is minimal, unless he is extrinsically motivated in that there's, some sort of physical prize that's going to directly benefit him. He doesn't really put in an effort. It's fine for us to show interest in him, but he doesn't really bring anything to the table himself. So I don't see how my time in the house will differ if he leaves.
Accepted. Michaela, you have 2 points remaining.
For 2 points, I'd like to nominate Matthew. I think that he is very indulgent with certain housemates and their bitchiness and cattiness. I think that instead of trying to shut it down, he encourages it and he makes the situation worse. I think he too is a little bit self-indulgent and very arrogant, and it would be nice to see him dropped down off his peg and realise that he is human and he's not invincible. And I think that by having him up for nomination this week without Heidi here and with Caleb also having been gone, we would see a very different side to Matt.
Accepted. Thank you, Michaela.
Thanks, Big Brother.
Prince Charming.
Drew, who do you think Ed will nominate and why?
Myself and Tim. I know for a fact he doesn't trust me. He's trying to play Tim at his own game. So I think, Tim as well. Myself and Tim.
Drew.
Yes, Big Brother.
Those predictions have been noted.
Thank you.
Big Brother will get back to you.
Thank you.
Okay. For 3 points, I nominate Michaela. She's avoided eviction or nomination 4 times, I think. So I want to see how she goes if she's up. She's been a cat in here, and
are you an animal hater, Ed?
Far from, Big Brother. Far from. Just, I guess it's a point in the game now where we need to see where people are at, and I'm not sure where she is. So that's my decision for 3 points.
Ed, your nomination is accepted.
Great. Okay, for 2 points, I nominate Katie and Lucy. Pretty much for just flying under the radar. Yeah, they were not up last week, and yeah, I would like to see where they're at as well at this point in the game.
Ed, you're nominating people to see where they're at.
Yes.
But isn't it true? You'd just rather see them gone.
Oh, well, I guess that's the whole point of nominating. So yeah, as I said, I think we all assume we're over halfway now, so it's becoming more evident that it's a game, and yeah, I guess you need to test people at times, and this is that time for me, so trying to do that for these nominations.
Your nominations are accepted.
All right, great. Thanks, big brother.
All right, let's have another look at the tally board and see what's happening now. Tahan still up the top. Katie and Lucy, Ben, then Ed and Michaela, Jade and Matthew. Now, I know Drew lives in the Big Brother bubble, but I think he's at his own bubble within the bubble because he's only guessed 1 out of the last 6 nominations correctly. He completely struck out with Ben and Ed, but his biggest test is next. How well does Drew really know the inner workings of Tully?
Here's another opportunity to say it with chicken.
I can't have my girlies looking bad.
Oh, you can see it looks so good. It's already getting lighter here. Okay, Katie, don't stress, but it's green. Katie, turn over and let's do the front.
Yeah. Katie's hair's gone green. Michaela's having a heart attack in there.
It's a little tinge of green and it adds a little something.
It's funny, but I'm so sorry.
Michaela, don't get upset.
Saying sorry is great, but saying it with KFC chicken is even better.
Welcome back to Nominations Night Live, where Drew's telepathic ability is being put to the test. Drew's only won 3 points. He really needs to start getting more predictions right. Now, he and Matthew aren't the best of friends, but Drew is aware that Matthew isn't a fan of Michaela. Drew and Tully are the best of friends, but understanding how she thinks might still prove difficult. So let's see how he goes.
Matthew, to the chamber. Drew, who do you think Matthew will nominate and why?
I think he'll nominate me. Still think he thinks that I'm flying under the radar a bit. And the other one, Tim, I still don't think he trusts Tim.
So Drew, you're predicting that Matthew will nominate yourself and Tim?
Yes.
Firstly, I nominate Tim for 4 points. My reasons are when he's always in the kitchen, he making snacks and that he always leaves his stuff out and doesn't clean up after himself. I've hit him up a few times and said, mate, you gotta clean your stuff up, and he'll just kind of have the attitude where he doesn't care and just be like whatever and walk off, and then obviously clean it up. Also with Mr. Clooney, he does his business in the backyard, and if you see it first, you got to clean it up. That's the house rule, and he'll always point out, like, look, there's dog poo, and just walk off and just leave it there. We've all got to put it in the house, and I feel like in those areas he's not putting in.
Matthew, in all of my years, Big Brother has never received a nomination revolving around dog poo.
I know it's petty, but that's what the house is going to, Big Brother, so...
So Tim is a grub?
Yeah, he's a grub for sure.
Accepted. Matthew, you have 1 point remaining.
Okay, for 1 point, I nominate Michaela. My reasons are a lot of people hit her up in the house telling her she's rude and aggressive in the way she approaches people, and her outbursts. She still continues to act like that, even though people have let her know. People will be having a conflict or arguing, and she'll just yell out on top of her mouth, on top of her voice, just telling everyone to shut up. And people are actually trying to sort things out, so it comes across very rude, and she does not need to do it.
And Matthew, this has nothing to do with the fact that Michaela continues to avoid nomination.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm putting her up too, because everyone says she's got 9 lives, but I'd like to try and change that. I don't think she's got 9 lives. She's had 5, and I think that's enough.
Accepted.
Thank you, big brother.
Drew, how do you think you're going so far?
I know I've missed a few. I know I've missed at least a few, if not nearly all of them. Alright, tells. Come on. Katie and Lucy, just not contributing, not doing anything. And I'm going to say Jade because I think she thinks everyone else is going to do the nominating for Michaela. So Jade and Katie and Lucy.
Very well. Big brother will get back to you shortly.
Thank you.
For 3 points, I'd like to nominate Michaela. I just think it's a strategic nomination on my behalf. Although she may be the cat in the house, she hasn't really been given the chance to be a cat on the outside, and she's only really been saved once from the public vote. And if I have to go up this week for a double, I'd rather go up against her.
Do you think you can take Michaela down?
Well, I'd like to try if she'd give me the chance.
So Tully, if you were both up for eviction, you'd be tipping yourself to stay.
Yes.
Accepted.
For 2 points, I'd like to nominate Katie and Lucy. Love them to death. Think they're really sweet, but in terms of my time in the house, they don't add a whole lot. They don't add much to my time in the house, and I can't see them being a whole lot entertaining on the outside. So again, if I have to go up in a double, I'd rather have those 2 girls up with me as opposed to any other housemate in the house.
So you're voting on behalf of Australia because you don't think they're very entertaining, is that correct?
No, I'm voting on behalf of myself because I'd rather go up against the people I've nominated today than anybody else in the house.
Because you think they're soft touches?
No, I just would rather go up against them. I don't think they're as strong a players in the game as the rest of the housemates. So it is a double. I'm thinking strategically, and I'm probably going to be up, and I'd rather go up against the people that I've nominated today.
Accepted.
Thanks, big brother.
Thank you, Tully.
All right, let's have a look at the tally board. And what have we got? Katie and Lucy Michaela now at the top on 7, Tahan on 6, Ben and Tim on 4 each, then Ed. So at least Drew got one of Tully's correct. So we're very close to finding out who's up for eviction. But first, can Drew possibly mind read the Sugar Sisters? Find out next. To Nominations Night Live. Drew's predictor superpower hasn't reached its full potential. Drew has won back his original 5 nomination points, but if he wants to influence the outcome, he needs to win more. He's found it tough to know what's going on in one person's head, so how will he handle 2?
Katie and Lucy to the chamber.
Tim's always long.
Drew, what do you think is running through Katie and Lucy's minds?
I predict Tahan and no one really. Tahan and Matt.
Noted.
Thank you.
Big brother, we'll get back to you, Drew.
Thank you.
Katie and Lucy.
Yes, big brother.
They say 2 heads are better than 1.
Oh, I don't know about that. Fingers crossed.
Who do you nominate first? For how many points and why?
Okay, so for 3 points, big brother, can we please nominate Tahan? Again, we find that she's completely a rude person and continues to talk negatively about people on the inside as well as the outside. She often uses negative comments such as fat, ugly, nobodies.
She's got people nobodies who are apparently supposed to be her friends on the outside. And it's just such a mean thing to say. It's not nice at all.
It just makes you think what she's saying about you when she's living with you behind your back. We've had confrontation with her before, but it just doesn't seem to have changed whatsoever.
Yeah, and then apparently she said to Tim that she said whoever's friend, people who are friends with Tim, apparently don't have a brain.
And we're friends with Tim, and we find that offensive. Michaela also was very upset by that comment. We just feel that she's making other people in the house very upset by the comments that she makes,
including us. And it's just not nice. We don't want to live with somebody who's mean.
So to confirm, you're nominating Tahan.
Yes.
Big Brother nearly fell off his seat with surprise.
I know, shock horror, Big Brother, but she hasn't changed. She's still a mean girl and nasty, and we just don't want to live with her. We nominate by people who we don't want to live with. We have no other strategy. It's as simple as that.
Accepted.
Thanks, Big Brother.
Thanks, Big Brother.
Katie and Lucy, you have 2 points remaining.
Okay, and for 2 points today we're going to nominate Ed. He's just such a lovely guy, but the reason why we're nominating him today is because we just feel like we haven't got to know him as well as other housemates. We've sat down with him numerous times and had conversations with him, but we just feel like we're just putting in the effort but not always getting it back.
Yeah, an example of this would be the other day, Ed and I were outside on the lounges, and we had a conversation, but I felt like instead of giving me more, he sort of just shut the conversation down and was like, all right, thanks for that, I'm going to go away now. And I just feel like he is a great guy, and we just don't have anything else.
Do you think Ed is Mr. Perfect?
Yeah. So he's Prince Charming, Big Brother.
So why then would Australia vote him out?
I don't know if they would.
We don't know.
We don't know.
So not exactly the most strategic nomination, girls.
Oh no. Not strategic at all. We just have nothing else really.
He's such a lovely guy, but we just feel like we don't connect with him as well as everybody else in the house.
That's all.
That's it.
So a mean girl and a lovely guy.
Yes.
And plus, I don't think he's going to get any other votes.
Yeah, any other nomination points.
No.
Accepted.
Okay. Thank you, Big Brother.
Thanks, Big Brother.
Bye.
Yes, Big Brother can always distill the nomination, can't he? Now let's have a look at the tally board as per Katie and Lucy. That just then Tahan up the top, 9. Then Katie and Lucy and Michaela on 7 each. Ed, Ben and Tim still in the red zone. Drew has earned 6 points and his best friend Tim is in the chamber next. Can Drew guess what the resident rebel will do and which members of the top 10 will be facing eviction?
Tim, who do you nominate first and why?
For 3 points, I'm going to nominate Tully. Did you get that, Tully? He's got impressive abs, but I'm yet to see any guts. She's been barking orders at me all week. And Jasmine's got bad breath. It's Mr. Ed. Send Heidi and the horse to the glue factory. I think he is Switzerland. I hate Switzerland. I like nominating.
This is Nominations Night Live, where Drew is putting his intuition on the line. Now, Drew and Tim have been besties from the get-go. They're practical jokers, they shared a bed for the last week, and they even used to be in a band together. But Tim is a highly unpredictable character, so will his best friend Drew be able to guess how he'll nominate?
Tim, to the chamber. Drew.
Big Brother.
You know how Tim's mind works, don't you?
Not even close. I'm going to say Matt, because the other day he made a comment and said it was time for him to go. And Jade, maybe. Oh, I'll say Matt and Jade. Because I think he thinks that Jade's a weak player.
Thank you, Drew.
Thank you, Big Brother.
Your final tally will be revealed soon.
Thank you.
Tim, who do you nominate first? For how many points and why?
Okay, so strategic nominations this week to avoid being on the panel. Everyone's going to nominate for the girls, so I'm nominating for the boys. Ben and Drew are my friends, so that leaves Matthew and Ed. 4 points for Ed because he is all Mr. Nice Guy and he is very lovely to look at, but we've got a lot of nice things to look at in this house, and I don't think being pretty on the outside makes someone nice on the inside. And I think he's leading Jade on, and he says that he's told her that there's nothing going on between them, but why does he go in her bed and why does he let her in his bed for cuddles at night? Well, I don't know. And sometimes I feel like he's interrogating me and trying to like understand me. I don't even understand me, so I think he's wasting time there. And sometimes I feel like he's just, really trying to like get into my brain, and I don't like that. And
Accepted.
Accepted.
Tim, you have 1 point remaining.
Okay, for 1 point, I'll nominate Matthew. For the opposite, he doesn't try to get into my brain, he doesn't do anything, he doesn't ask questions, he just sleeps, goes to the gym, eats, then tans, and sometimes wins ball games that I try and play, but he always comes in and wins them. So yes, 1 point for Matthew.
Sounds like a hint of jealousy there, Tim.
Oh, well, look, he's a bit of a prawn.
Explain that, please.
Like with a prawn, you keep the body but you throw away the head.
Tim, that's a rather shellfish analogy.
Shellfish, I like that. Oh, yes.
Your nomination is accepted.
Thank you.
Tim.
Yes, Big Brother?
Next week, don't come the raw prawn with Big Brother.
Oh, he's pulling out the big ones.
As the holder of the Predictor superpower, your job was to correctly predict who your fellow housemates would nominate.
Says something correctly.
For every nomination you guessed correctly, you were awarded 1 point.
Alright.
There were 9 housemates nominating, therefore you had the chance to gain up to 18 nomination points.
And how'd I do?
How many points do you think you've won, Drew?
Oh, I'll be happy to get my original 5 back at this stage.
Big Brother can now reveal you correctly predicted 7 of your housemates' nominations.
I'll take it.
It means you have 7 points to nominate with.
Okay.
And you can distribute those points however and to whomever you wish.
Okay, the Sugar Sisters are done. Alright, 3 points to Ed because he is the biggest threat, I think, now in the house, and he's playing hardest at the game after Tim, and because he's against Tim, he potentially poses a threat to me. He'd get rid of me the first moment he could.
Drew, your nomination is accepted.
Thank you.
You have 4 points remaining.
I'm going to give 2 to Jade. She's got the can't be bothered attitude the last week. She didn't get excited about anything really. She's just not getting into anything and not making anything interesting or exciting.
Throwing a few points to the ex-wife, Drew.
Yeah, well, it's more than she threw me.
Big Brother can tell you from experience, ex-partners are dangerous animals to toy with at times, Drew. You have 2 points remaining.
And 2 to Ben. He's a very strong competitor, so I love him. But he's one of the biggest threats in here, and I don't think he'll be going anywhere this week anyway.
Accepted.
Thank you.
Drew, your nominations are complete.
Thank you, Big Brother.
Do not say anything to your fellow housemates about your superpower.
No worries, lips are sealed.
Drew, you may return to the lounge.
Thank you.
Final check of the tally board. Who would have thought Tully would have 0 points? Now, I wonder if they avoided nominating Tully because Drew had the superpower. And Drew has given 2 points to Jade, which means she's now in 6th place, tied with Tim. And Ed has to decide which one should be nominated. So the housemates all think that Tim is one of the strongest players and Jade not so much. So will Prince Charming choose to save his maiden Jade and face the might of Tim, or will he sacrifice his passion partner to save himself?
Behind the bars.
This is Big Brother.
Hello, Big Brother.
Housemates, your nominations are complete. The results are in. Drew was the holder of the nominations superpower.
Hi, Drew.
Drew was the predictor. Drew was given the opportunity to predict who each of you would nominate. For every correct guess, Drew received 1 point with which to nominate. Drew was not informed how many points he had gained until after your last nomination, so he does not know who nominated who. As always, Drew cannot discuss his superpower, so do not ask him about it.
Okay.
The 6 housemates up for this week's double eviction are on 12 points. Ed.
Whoa! Whoa! Heavy.
Figure this out.
You need to get back into that gym, bro.
Yeah, I know.
On 9 points, Tahan.
Back with you, John.
On 7 points, Michaela. On 7 points, Katie and Lucy.
Same. Yay! Wanna stick together, yeah.
On 6 points, Ben.
Oh my god. One must survive.
And it seems Big Brother has a conundrum.
Sorry, someone.
As you know, every week there will be 6 nominees. So far, 5 of you are up for eviction. However, 2 of you are tied on 4 points. Tim.
What?
And Jade.
Oh my god.
Do we have to do it?
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Oh my god. It's okay.
Ed, you were the housemate with the most nomination points. Stand up.
In case you forgot.
Hey.
This is not fun.
Ed, Big Brother, wants you to decide which housemate will join you and face Australia's eviction vote. From Tim and Jade, who do you choose?
Oh my god. I'm trying to think the best case scenario. There is no best case scenario.
There is no best case.
This isn't clear cut. Tim's really strong, but I don't want to send Jade over.
It's going to be a hard decision as well.
Ed,
Yes.
which housemate do you choose?
Don't know.
Let's go ahead.
There's no
game,
hard feelings, Ed. It's just a game.
No decision, bro.
Ed,
Okay, yeah, okay.
Big Brother will count backwards from 3. And when he reaches 0,
Nice guy.
Big Brother would like you to say the name of the housemate that you wish to face the vote for eviction. 3, 2, 1, 0.
3, 2, 1. I just think Tim's too strong, and I don't think I can beat him. That's the only way, and that's all I think. And I think we could do it together. Oh my god! I feel like an absolute villain.
It's alright.
That's mine. You might not want it.
Jade, Tahan, Michaela, Katie and Lucy, and Ben. You are this week's nominees. However, Big Brother must remind you that nominations are not yet final. Big Brother will get back to you all. That is all.
So Ed would rather sacrifice Jade than face Tim on eviction night. So kiss her, share a bed, and then use her as a human shield. What has happened to Prince Charming? Not sure how Australia might like that. He might have been safer by actually putting himself in danger. Katie and Lucy, Ben, Michaela, Tahan, Ed, and now Jade are all currently facing eviction. But remember, they all think it's a double eviction this Monday. But as we know, the nominee with the lowest votes will be evicted for real, and the one with the highest votes will be evicted to a secret location where they'll stay in the game. That's right, it's a big fat fake. So remember, this Thursday, one nominee will be saved and a safe housemate will be sacrificed. Join us at 9:30 tonight for an unmissable instalment of Big Brother's Late Night Feast. It's their most raucous party yet. I'm Sonia Kruger. I'll see you soon.
Dreamworld, the home of Big Brother.